Welcome to another exciting episode of the Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Paper Guy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
And it's the Hump Day Happy Hour Salute. And tonight we enjoyed Captain Morgan's White Rum. And we're also enjoying the company of
Turner, I guess David Turner. How are you guys?
We're doing well. How are you?
Doing well.
That is awesome. I'll take you behind the curtain here for one moment. If you want to be a guest on the show, we always have you come in a few minutes early. And tonight was the perfect reason why. We were having some audio problems. So we troubleshot. We even called Random Neighborhood Kid. And now we're running this here with our guest here on his phone. 100% better. Everything is great. So that's why you troubleshoot a little bit early. Let that be a lesson to everybody out there. And we're going to say hi to the chat, and then we're going to get into the show.
All right. Super See the Lights, first out the box. How's it going?
Thank you for being a member.
Fossil Forward, Triple F, how you doing?
Thank you for being a member.
Jay-Z Jeff's in the house. How's it going? Delightful Don, always delightful.
Hello, and thank you for being a member.
All the A's have it. Awesome. Adrian's in the house.
Thank you for being a member.
Awesome. Anik's in the house. And you are a mind reader, yes. Yeah. Awesome Antiquarian. Look at these A's. Anyone else with A's?
And thank you for being a member.
Donald, we're not going to introduce you. You don't have an A in your word. A. Donald is here. Aaron Donald's here. How's it going?
All righty. So we always start the show off the same way, and we're going to let our guests do it first. We always ask how sales are. So how are your sales?
Sales are going well. Summer sales are usually a little bit slower than the rest of the year. Everybody's busy with doing other things. But it also always depends on what you have in stock. So I got lucky to be able to go through an estate and dig through a basement, and he was a photo collector.
Oh.
And he had an amazing collection of photographs. And when you get to buy cheaply, you can offer it cheaply and then build up interest that way. So I got lucky with some really interesting photographs of India and interesting photographs of state hospitals in New York. So I've had some pretty decent sales, especially for July.
Very good. And of course, if you ever get adult-related photos, always keep me in mind.
All right, we'll do.
And welcome Schmidt Auctions. Turner, do you know Schmidt?
Oh, I know Schmidt very well. We actually met in Allentown the same time I met up with you. So
yeah. Oh, and Antiquarian asked what sales are. What sales?
Well, I sell on eBay and whatnot primarily, but I also do postcard shows and some ephemera shows too. But if you have the right things for eBay, there's always followers and always people looking. So
true.
And I think that one thing that Turner just said right there, I think is very, very important. From the start, I have been saying regarding whatnot, if I buy right, you buy right. And that's absolutely what it comes down to. And I think on that site more than any other, I think that's absolutely true because of the volume that can be moved over on that site.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But it's true with eBay as well. I looked up these Indian photographs or photographs from India, and people are selling them for $200-$300. But if I buy them so cheaply and I can offer them for $50, then I'm making money and people are getting a good deal, and then they'll come back for more.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So you are, from the sounds of it, it sounds like you are more the short nickel than the long dime guy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I like to turn things over quickly. I'd like to get as much as I can for things, but I don't like holding on to things for too long. It just seems like I can flip it and then use that money to buy something else and flip it again. And instead of waiting for months, just hopefully, get it out the door within a week.
And welcome, Paper Gal 77. Thanks for being a member.
How you doing?
And even with whatnot, I hope to sometimes sell it within the day. That would be nice too.
What is your back stock of unlisted inventory, if I could ask? And I know that's a little tough with postcards and photos because it depends on how you want to define it. Because obviously 1,000 postcards could be 5 lots or it could be 1,000 lots. Depends upon how you want to define it.
With postcards, I probably have a back stock of 15,000 postcards.
Okay.
But I wouldn't call them as quality as I would like them to be. But with other things like stereo views, I have, probably about 10,000 stereo views that are pretty good quality. But those are the type of thing where I sell them slowly because I want to keep them. So I try to sell them until I make my money back, and then I can decide which ones I want to keep and which ones I want to continue selling.
And that ties into something or other that I've said all along. I collect things, but it's all for sale. It just happens to be stored in the collectibles room until such time as it gets sold. And I think we're all in that boat as well.
I'm a collector where once something like goes into my like personal collection, it stays there. But there's plenty of things where it's kind of like a periphery thing where I'm interested in, and that's where like me being a dealer kicks in, where I want to make my money or double my money, and then whatever's left, like I hold the things that I like the most for last. And if I do well enough with the collection, then I can keep more of it. But if I'm not doing as well, then I'm selling it.
Yep.
I got an idea for
Okay.
your collectibles room.
Yes.
I pay you $1,000 per minute, and you let me just roam in there and take whatever I want. I don't know. I mean, I know nothing. Think how cool that would be for the show. That would be great. Like, I don't know what anything is, but he's got these old Batman comics I sold him years ago, and some Star Wars cards from years, like high grade ones. And I just would like, I would know what would happen. It would take me 10. I'll give you 10 grand. I'd go through for 10 minutes, have nothing because I'm trying to find those specific items. That would be really cool. We got to do that. We'll start with 1,000.
I'd be into that too.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine is insane, but that's a whole nother story. You're familiar with card grading.
Yeah.
He bought, what were they, 9s? I think they were all 9s, PSA 9s across the board on the Star Wars cards.
Yeah.
The vintage 77.
The vintage 77. Yeah. Then he broke them all out and kept them all broken out and then sold them all to me.
Again, was it pre-COVID?
Yeah.
That's why. Oh my God, there's probably 50 grand that set now. A 9 set, the blue set, probably 50,000 all 9s. I mean, 10s are going for 50,000. The 9s got to be 1,000 to 5,000 on the first 10 cards.
So I have a high grade set. It's just all broken out, and I'm like, why did you break it all out?
The problem is breaking it out.
Star Wars things or just the cards?
They were just the Star Wars cards, but stickers as well. Yeah.
Oh my God,
cards and stickers, all the first 5 series.
Yeah, but the problem is. Oh my God, that's just insane. Like he should be in a hospital. But the point is, like, darn well, a good percentage of those went from 9s to 8s because how perfectly you have to break them out without damaging them. Now you have to store them somewhere else in a holder or in a sleeve without damaging them. That's a tough call, man.
See, I think they went from 9s to 10s because he's looking to buy them.
Exactly. No, well, if I can find them in 1 minute or 1 hour.
Happy to work with postcards because I don't have to do any grading or anything like that. You just have to talk about corner creases and, it's just all about the image itself. So that's one thing I love about photographs.
Other than the sports stuff, has grading hit the postcard market yet?
In some things, especially with like the sports type of postcards, that if, I've had a postcard at one time. It was part of, some postcard collectors will know this. It was the Rose collection. Which is just kind of like minor league baseball players. And I had an image of a baseball player from Scranton called Moonlight Graham. And some of you might recognize him. He was the young guy in the movie Field of Dreams.
Oh, yeah.
That only played the 1 inning or something in the major leagues. Well, I just happened to have this postcard of him from this rare series. And I didn't know what I had. I listed it on eBay for... I think like $50 or something because it's a nice baseball card. And within a minute or two, I start getting emails of people offering me $300, $500, $600. And I'm thinking like, okay, I have something interesting here. I'm talking to my brother about it. He does the research, finds out who this guy was, and, emailing everybody back like, thank you for your offers. I'm going to let it run. And then people are asking me what it's graded, what the grade is, or like and I say, well, I just literally got this in a pile of postcards, so I don't know anything about it, taking all specific pictures of it and everything like that. But those are the type of things that it seems like people want to be graded. But
and the other problem is you're coming into it from a postcard grading, whereas a lot of the people trying to buy it from you are probably coming in from sports card grading.
Exactly.
And I'll give you a perfect example. There was a gentleman that I was friends with. Unfortunately, he's since passed. He came from the book world, and he had some comic books, 2 old golden age comic books. And he goes, "You interested in buying these from me?" And I said, "Yeah." So I went by, I brought my price guide. I look at them, and I go, "These are VG condition." He goes, "These aren't VG. These are good." Because he was coming from the book world where basically they're 1 grade off. So good in the book world is VG in the comic world. So he charged me the good price, a portion of the good price in the guide. And I'm like, when somebody's trying to say they're VG, you don't downgrade them and argue with them and charge him less. That's not what you do. But he was coming from the book world grading. So in the book world, it would have been a good. In the comic world, it's a VG. So it's the same thing. You might have said in the postcard world, well, this is this, but it may not translate to the sports card world.
Yeah, that's true. But what was interesting about that is that the person that finally bought it, he lived out in California. He says that this is the only card that shows Moonlight Graham. That there's no baseball cards of him. There's nothing else. Only this specific postcard is the only thing that was ever made for him.
What did it sell for?
Over $3,000.
Oh, I was going to guess $1,200. Okay, $3,000. You blew me out of the line.
Makes sense though. It's crazy.
It was a nice down payment on a car, so I appreciated that, and it was a complete surprise as well. So
it's awesome.
That's nice. But and again, to anybody out there that watches the channel, that's why you put things up at auction first.
Yeah.
Because if I walked in and you said, I don't know, and I said, I'll give you $150 for it, you would have probably said, okay, great, cool, $150. I get nothing into the whole pile.
Nice quick flip.
Or you throw it up, buy it now for $200 best offer, hoping that, and it would have sold in 1 minute, and you went, wait, what?
Yeah.
And also be wary of people sending you emails saying, I'll give you this amount of money, or I'll give you a very high price for it.
Yeah.
That's usually a good indication that they are trying to get a deal themselves, and this could be, a very valuable piece.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. And thank you for being a member, Metal. I'm sorry to hear that. How about you, Mr. Magazine? How are your sales?
eBay's actually been decent, slightly above average. Amazon was a little low, but I had a huge day yesterday that made up for it.
It's Prime Day. It's Prime Week.
Oh,
Prime
there
Days.
you go.
It's like 3-day Prime Day this year or something.
When did it start?
I think yesterday, right?
Okay,
I think
good.
yesterday.
All right, cool. Let's see. DVD site's a little down. I'm sorry, were you going to say something?
Yeah, does Amazon, do they have a lot of rules? Is it easy to be, because I've heard a lot of stories that it's easy to be kicked off the platform for things, and you don't even know why. It's hard to sell on that platform in general.
Not too bad. They've got a lot of things that are gated. That's the problem.
Okay.
So what you would want to do is, because you would be essentially listing one-of-a-kind items or uncommon items, you would need to get ungated in the collectibles area and then sell the postcards that way. Would be what you'd want to do. Yep.
But, my adult site Shopify, that's doing decent. The new adult site I'm listing on, we're doing really well there. We just started out. It's been about a month and a half, and we already own 10% of all listings on the site.
Wow.
So we're definitely taking that over at some point. And the owner of the site didn't want to give us any bulk discount if we listed 50 to 100,000 listings. So I think we're just going to take it over at some point. We'll be 9 out of 10 listings in about a year from now. That's what happened with eBay. So that card's got to be $100,000. I mean, I don't know if there's any graded at 10, probably, but yeah, for sure.
Are you familiar with that card?
No, I am not.
It's from the Green Series.
It shows C3PO, and there is a piece of metal protruding out of the front of the card. Take a search on that after the show, and you'll just laugh out loud.
It's X-rated C3PO.
Allegedly,
I can imagine.
Allegedly, one of the artists there had gotten fired or knew he was going to get fired, so he let that slip through that way or put that in or whatever the case happens to be, and that's why it made the market. So it is a much rarer card. There are Chinese fakes of it, though, so you got to be careful. There are Chinese fakes.
But even the card that took over with it blacked out, that's still worth a lot of money because everyone's using it to fill in sets because they want to sell that one for good money, so they fill it in with the cheaper one, but it's still good money.
Auction every postcard I can't find a comp or live listing for. Most don't sell or auction, but sometimes you get surprised. Yep,
yeah,
absolutely.
The same way. I always list auction first. I don't end my auctions early. Get it fair for everyone that's interested in it, and then if they don't sell, then they go into a buy it now into my store.
Exactly. Yep.
Sales have been okay this week. Cleaning out some walk lots. Buying freeze. We'll see how long that lasts. I put myself in a buying freeze today. It's worked today. My sales, I had a great weekend. I had over on eBay, first time in years, an $1,100 day. Mm-hmm. That was a really good day over on eBay. Now things are back down to where they normally are.
You sold a lot of items, high-end items?
That National Geographic lot that I bought over at Madison Bachville, guy was paying $50 per National Geographic, and he bought like 10, 12 of them.
Wow.
They're from 1907, 1908,
Oh,
1909.
early ones.
Just don't see that stuff. We have a haul video. I have a haul video up from Madison Bachville. I paid $100 for 50 of them.
Wow, that's a good
And
deal. I love Madison Belleville. Wasn't able to go this first time, but that's one of my favorite flea markets.
oh, we'll definitely have to hook up if you are up there for the August show, third week in August.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely be up there. Hopefully,
Yeah.
it's not burning hot. It's either raining or incredibly hot. So
One or the other. Yeah, you never get perfect weather for that at all. Amazon's still slow because I'm still in their penalty box. What ended up happening over on Amazon is I got a 2 out of 5 rating from one buyer. And that then I have 0% buy box, and they're really throttling my sales. I just have to wait for that to fall out of their equation.
yeah,
I think it's 30 days. So I have low sales for 30 days, and then it'll pick right back up and I'll get the buy box again. So I'm not too worried about it. I've got enough other places that I sell on. And that's one reason why we always talk about you need as many venues as possible to sell on, because you just never know when one venue might have a problem.
yeah. It was funny. Vintage paper guy. I don't know if you know him. He just got back onto Whatnot, and he's having an issue of Whatnot now. Of course, like not doing his payouts because he hasn't been on the site for 6 months. So they started, withholding his payouts for another, I don't know, month and a half or something like that. But
What did he do to get kicked off?
he didn't get kicked off. He just was doing other things, and he took a pause from selling on Whatnot for a little bit. So they put him back into, I guess, Whatnot withholding jail.
Jeez, that's crazy.
And that's tough too. I mean, depending upon your cash flow issues, that can be very tough.
Exactly.
Yep, absolutely. Promoted 69 promoted out of 85 sales.
Wow,
that's unbelievable. Do you use promoted listings over on eBay?
I don't. I have my set buyers. Especially with postcards, I mostly sell like town views and local history cards and things like that. Not so much artist signed or holidays or anything like that. So if somebody collects a town, they're going to find it, and I just don't think that like a promoted listing is going to help me that much, especially if there's only like 5 cards on of that town. So
right, yeah, definitely, yeah, and that's where we use promoted listings, and we both should be better about it in that this should be 3%, this should be 7%, but who has the time? When you get down to it, when you really micromanage it, I've got 30,000 listings, and how many items do you have up on eBay? Roughly
200,000.
Yeah. 200,000 and 30,000 listings. You can't. The right thing to do is this is 3%, this is 2%, this is 5%. Who can do it? You just throw it all out there and you just let it go.
Yeah, I have about 17,000, so I feel like a small fish compared to you guys. I don't know how you have time to do.
I think we hit 1 million items on all platforms. I think because we got 320,000 on Amazon, over 350,000 on our website, 100,000 on the DVD site. So I think we're nearing 1 million.
How do you find anything that sells?
We're probably 98% success rate. The stuff we can't find is generally older stuff from 10, 15 years ago, because we started in my garage at my shop, then we moved to a warehouse, then a bigger warehouse, then 2 warehouses, then I bought the big one. So, things get lost, relisted, resold, but it's not too bad.
Incredibly organized.
It's as good as, I wouldn't say incredibly, but it's as good as it's going to get under the circumstances.
Sold 3 items over on eBay on million.dollar.peddlers, 4 items over on Etsy. Have you ever thought about giving Etsy a try?
Yeah, I always think about doing Etsy, especially like different types of things. I have a bunch of die cuts and things like that, and I know it's used by a lot of crafters. So it definitely is a different avenue that I am looking at, but I'm just so busy with eBay and now adding Whatnot to it as well. It's just, finding the time to get it all done.
Right. Yeah, I sold 4 items last week on Etsy, so I can't argue with that. I've got about 1,300 items listed, so
wow.
1 item on papergoy.com, 1 item on Biblio, and 2 items on Hip Comic. I finally sold some stuff over on Hip Comic, so I'm happy about that. Can't argue with that. So yeah, like we said, you got to go across all the venues because you just never know. One's dead, another one might make a sale. I'm not making a lot of money on these other sites, but I think I just got my monthly check, whatever you call it, the deposit from Etsy, And if I remember right, it was $172.22.
Oh, that's not bad. That's like groceries for the month, right? That's
Yeah.
good.
Well, I don't know what the month, but
2 weeks, something like that.
yeah.
If you don't eat out, you could pull it off.
I could. My wife likes to eat though. As far as she wants to get fed, can you believe her?
It's crazy.
It is crazy. And you met my wife, of course. She was the camera lady when we interviewed you down in Allentown.
Yeah.
Yep. How about buys? Have you been buying anything?
I'm always buying. Whether it's a good idea or bad, I'm always picking up something. I was buying on Whatnot today. While I work, while I pack during the day, I'm on Whatnot just watching a show. And, if I can pick something up, it's worth it because I'm already working. I'm already on my computer. Might as well be watching Whatnot and picking things up. But, I got a bunch of orders that I bought in today. And, Facebook Marketplace. I have my own Facebook group called Hudson Valley Revisited, where I post like old photographs of where I live in the Hudson Valley and images of what it looks like today. So sometimes I get people messaging me saying, "Hey, I have all these old photographs if you'd be interested." And so I was trying to make a deal on that today on Facebook as well.
Oh, nice.
Very cool.
Nice. How about you, Mr. Magazine?
My regular comes in. He sold me a bunch of autographed books today, so we're going to sell those on eBay. And then the guy called us, and he does cleanouts, and he had comics, which was cool because we sell them on Whatnot. He did a stack of like 100 ungraded. Half of them were like Batman, so I kept half of those. Then he had like 20 graded ones, just random stuff, and some of those were like Batmans and stuff. A lot of 9/8, but like common issues. So got a really good deal. But again, now I have someone that I gave my card, said, "Hey, if you get adult stuff, this or that, records." So now we're going to be his. He's going to be my supplier. Yeah. So
nice.
That worked out well. Yeah. How about you?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. There was an estate sale. Oh, there you go. Hudson Valley, you're local to Fossil Forward Finds. There you are.
Oh, cool.
There was an estate sale that was advertising Lithuanian paper. Now, either they advertised every little thing or somebody bought a lot of it. There were literally 2 items that I saw of Lithuanian paper left. One was a Lithuanian church, a new church dedication, and one was a program for, I don't know, some party or something like that, something or other they had. Of course, I bought both of them.
Got to be a small market.
All it takes is 1 or 2.
Yeah, I do well with Eastern European stuff. Ukrainian things, all of the Baltic states and the Balkans. I do well with it. And now that you have like Google Lens and stuff, it's easy to translate it. Before you would have to, figure out what symbols they are, type them in to translate it. But now it does it for you. So it can give you, an exact translation for it. Because a lot of these places, the Hungary used to be a big empire. So sometimes it's written in Hungarian, but today it's in Slovakia or Romania or Serbia. So it's a lot easier to sell these types of things. And there's a pretty big market for it as well.
You're giving away one of my secrets. I'm one of the few people this way buying foreign stuff for that exact reason, because now you can sell it. And we have a huge Ukrainian population up in Rochester, huge Ukrainian population. So you do find the Ukrainian stuff regularly up here.
Oh, nice. Hey, I used to go to SUNY Geneseo, so I'm very familiar with the Rochester area, by the way.
If I ever do get into an estate that does have a lot of those Eastern European photos, I'll just reach out to you and flip them to you, and I buy right, so you'll buy right as well. So
that would be amazing. Really well. Great.
I went to Clarence, the flea market over in Clarence, and I forgot my dopey Whatnot hat that I wear around, and it was Sunday, and it was about 90 degrees out in the middle of the sun. I lasted about half an hour, and I'm like, I said to Mrs. Papergoy, "You ready to go?" And she's like, "Yeah, let's get the heck out of here." The one thing that I bought, which if you are on the pay side, you would have seen the haul video. And thank you for being on the pay side. You're familiar with swap cards?
No, I'm not.
Basically, people collect playing cards, but they want one from all these different decks. So they'll buy one from this deck, one from this deck, one from this deck. They do what, the 9 of diamonds or whatever they happen to collect. And they'll have hundreds of different 9 of diamonds with all different backs on them.
Oh, that's cool.
And a lot of people in the junk journal community use those, so they love those. So a guy had a box of them in the, the 9-card baseball sleeves that you see the baseball cards in. Guy had a box of them on his table. And I looked at the swap cards and I go, And I kind of walked out of the guy's booth and I said to Mrs. Papergoy, I said, I got to ask him what he wants on them. Who knows? I walked back in. I go, what do you want on the swap cards? He goes, oh, I got another box of those. Let me find them. So he went back into the thing, found another box, puts it down. He goes, I got these 2 boxes. Now, there were probably 1,800, and I think I'm on the low side, 2,000, 2,200 swap cards. He goes, how's $25? I said, yeah, I think I can make some money on that.
Yeah, it never hurts to ask, right? You never know.
Yeah, that was absolutely that. And what I'm going to do with those is I'm going to bring those to Allentown and try to sell them for $1 a piece. And if somebody wants a deal on a bunch of them, there's some good ones in there from what I can tell. Disney backs and amusement park and all that kind of thing. It's just a guy's collection. So who knows? I will take a quick run through to see if there's anything sport that I want to keep. But other than that, just put it all out for $1 a piece. And what the heck? Somebody, you take $10 on these 20 of them. Yeah. Twist my arm. I think so.
That's the type of thing that I would probably bulk out myself. It's I don't like having a bunch of stuff. So that's the type of thing I would put up on Whatnot and, have somebody else buy it out for me, flip it for double or triple of what I paid for it if it's low enough and, have it go on its way type of thing.
Right. Let them make the money out of it. Yep. And that's basically what I'm going to do over at Allentown. I'm buying bulk lots of things like that. You'll definitely want to check me out over there as well. You collect the stereo views. I picked up at Madison Bachville 580, I'm going to guess, stereo views for $160.
Oof, I'm really kicking myself for not going to Madison Bachville.
And I don't know them at all, so I'm just going to throw them out as they are, $1 each or whatever, and let people pick through them and find the treasures because I'm into them right when you get down to it. So what do I care?
Okay, well, I got to get to your booth bright and early then.
There you go. Comic shows this weekend, Mr. Magazine. Did you know that?
I do now. Well, I should know because I think I paid for some advertisement, and I paid for Whatnot advertisement as well. So I guess the guy that runs it that we know, he said he can do it for like $50. He can advertise my Whatnot out there and stuff like that. So I said, yeah, why not? It's going to a good cause. So, but it's Sunday.
Saturday, I think.
Oh, it's the day after my surgery. I won't be going then. No shot that day.
Oh, well, maybe they'll bring it to you.
It would be nice. Yeah.
And Sunday, I may be going over to the Syracuse flea market. Right now, it's on my list of things to do. There's a Mideast food festival over there, so I may go to that after the Syracuse flea. We're going to see. Weather dependent. Obviously, if it's raining, I'll stay home and list stuff, but we shall see. Glitch of the week. Have you noticed any glitches on any of the sites?
I haven't had any issues with glitches, thankfully. There's nothing more frustrating than when technology doesn't work the way you want it to. But no, I've been cross my fingers, knock on wood. I haven't encountered any yet.
I thought you were going to say the sound problem you had earlier on, but that's
only with this YouTube channel do I get glitches and problems. So that might be a you problem more than the site problem.
Lee is asking for you, what percentage of answering questions actually results in sales?
A good percentage of it does, and especially if you can get on top of it quickly. If you're getting back to them a day or two later, then they might have already changed their mind. But I'm a young person, so I always have my phone on me. So whenever I get an email, I try to reply to it right away, right when they're interested in it, right when they're on top of everything. Try to get back to them. The one thing that I have issues with is people asking for big discounts. Like if I have a card up for $10 or something like that, and they're offering me $2 or $3 for it,
Yep.
Those are messages that I either, don't reply to at all, or because it's just not worth my time, or I have to reply with, what the best I can do on it. And, that's less than 50% resulting in a sale. But good communication is always important.
Yeah. I would say probably a quarter, probably 25% for me work out in sales. The ones that really annoy me are the people that ask a very specific question that you answer properly. In other words, there was somebody there that says, hey, my band blah, blah, blah was in one of these issues. Can you check this one to see if it was in there? I contacted them back. Yes, your band is in there. Page 22, big full color thing. Never hear back from them.
Then you bought it from someone else.
Bought it from somebody else, and I did the work.
That's true. But I
Yep.
had a guy email me saying that he's looking. I have an atlas of queens on, or I did at least. Huge atlas, like weighed like 20 pounds or something like that. One of these old atlases from the 1920s, and he was looking for a specific thing on a specific page, and he says it's usually not there because it's now JFK Airport. So
Oh,
he wants to see if it was changed in this atlas or not. So I was able to go through, take pictures, and it actually JFK Airport was not shown yet. So he bought it. He was all the way out in Ireland, so he paid for all the shipping and everything like that. So sometimes it is worth it that
Cool.
somebody's looking for something very particular, and if you just so happen to have it, then you can make that sale.
all right. Dawn has a question for you. How do you pronounce Niche?
Niche.
I'm niche. It's your niche. That's weird
That's
because
Western New York, so it's a different accent. So
most of the people west of the Mississippi pronounce it the way you pronounce it. Most people
really?
in the east pronounce it the way that I do. Yeah, I grew up in Cleveland, so we say niche for sure.
Oh yeah, niches get steeches.
I logged into Amazon and I'm set up with an OTP. Yeah, you know me. Over on Amazon, the one-time passcode, and I got the passcode. I logged it in, and it said it was expired. The entire process took 5 seconds. So I don't know how quickly I had to be typing those numbers in.
You're such a little niche.
Exactly. Thanks. Hey, I see what you did there. Over on eBay, it was taking about an hour for my sales record to update. I had accepted a counter offer. The person paid for it. And then I was watching my sales because it was early in the day. And my sales didn't change. Like an hour later, it finally recognized that as being an actual sale. I don't know if that's a glitch or not, but if you're sitting there counting on those numbers and you're looking at those numbers and they may not be up to date for an hour, kind of interesting. I don't think it's going to really change anything, but it is kind of interesting as far as that goes.
I have noticed that my feedback is like different numbers, and when I look at it, sometimes it's off by like hundreds of feedback, and then it'll bounce back to what it is supposed to be. And I don't know what that's about, but as long as they're positive, I really don't mind.
Hey, local Mike, how's it going?
Comedy show starts on Friday. There we go. Middle of your surgery. You can go.
Yeah. Let me go ahead of time. Yeah.
A subscriber reached out to me. They got a $16 offer on an item they wanted $23 for. They went to accept it. The offer said $495.
Really?
So then they clicked accept, and it said null. And so it took them 2 or 3 times for it actually to register with the $16 offer and go through.
Huh, that's strange. That is a weird glitch.
Yeah.
Or glitch.
Thank you.
One thing I will say about people giving offers, if somebody is giving you, a very demanding customer, they haven't bought from you before, they're very demanding, they're asking for discounts and shipping discounts, is to check their feedback and check the feedback they leave for other people. Because, usually a buyer like that are usually your most, troubling buyers. And that if they're leaving a bunch of negative feedbacks for people, then they're most likely going to do it for you. And I've been burned that way. So now when somebody asks for a discount or, seems a little bit too demanding, I always check their feedback that they leave for other people to see if this is going to be a problem buyer.
And especially if you want to buy 10 or 20 items, you could get potentially 10 or 20 negatives.
That just almost happened. That happened to me with a guy from England that bought a bunch of different postcards. He was asking for discounts. I gave him the discounts. Then he wanted shipping discounts, which I can't help shipping England. But I broke up the shipments into 3 different shipments to bring down the price for him. The cards didn't show up, and I had to refund him. He thought that I was just not sending the cards for him, as if that was somehow beneficial to me to, not send the cards out to him. And then I received 6 negative feedback from him. And eventually the cards did arrive. I had to say, obviously I sent them out. Can you revise the feedback and everything like that? And he graciously did. But then when I looked at the feedback he leaves for other people, this is like a constant problem that he had of things not arriving and him giving negative feedbacks. And, I was kicking myself for not following my own rule.
Did you ban him?
I blocked him, yes. And he did leave me 2 feedback. So he bought like 8 things and he left me 6 negatives, but not on the 2 cards he did receive. So I blocked him, and when he emailed me again, he saw that I was blocked and gave me 2 additional feedbacks, negative feedbacks, because I blocked him. But I was able to communicate with eBay, and they removed them because you're not allowed to leave feedback because somebody blocked you.
Oh, good.
So it worked out, still like a hassle.
Yeah.
Mr. Magazine had a Shopify problem. Item assigned to a location without enough inventory, which we have no idea at all what that was. But
We figured it out.
Oh, what was it?
So my niece, we get a lot of call-in credit card payments because they don't want to use the website because a credit card receipt shows up as a website name. So she found a way where they call up and say, I want to order these items, that she can put it in through an actual Shopify order. We get an email saying it's just like they're using a checkout, but they're paying with credit card. So I guess this happened before on an item, and she was zeroing out the inventory, but that doesn't wipe it off on the website. You actually have to delete it out.
Oh, okay.
So this person bought it when it wasn't available.
Oh, okay.
So I guess we fixed it moving forward. They were going to buy something in place of it, but it was weird because my manager saw it too. He goes, I've never seen this before. I go, yeah, we'll figure it out. So it made sense.
You really are on a bunch of different websites. Which ones do you find are like the best ones? I assume eBay is probably one of your top ones, but
not anymore. It used to be. We got probably Amazon's number 1, then my Shopify website's probably number 2, and eBay's probably number 3.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I'm eBay 1, Whatnot 2. It may not necessarily be dollar-wise. I don't know if Whatnot's caught Amazon or not, but the fact that I can move so much product over on Whatnot. And I'll be honest with you, you've seen my shows before.
Yeah.
I try to put on an entertaining show. I try to be a clown up there, and it's fun. It's a lot more fun versus, let me list Flintstones number 17 over on Amazon. Okay, it's listed.
Yeah.
So
it's nice to interact with your customers on Whatnot. I really enjoy that. And you get to learn what your customers are collecting and what they're buying in real time, so you can adjust your buying to that as well. So that's what and it also shows you, like for me as a collector, Whatnot has like opened my horizons on different things to collect, because I collect local history, but I didn't collect CDVs or cabinet cards or tin types before this, or even paper items. But Whatnot, seeing what other people are interested in and being like, I want to look for that type of thing in my area as well.
Right. And I think one of the biggest things that opened both Mr. Magazine and I, my eyes, are the entire, and thanks to PSCN Creations, has been on our show a couple of times, the whole junk journal. And completely opened my eyes. I had no idea that was even out there. It's completely changed the way that I buy things. Because, again, things that I would have walked by before, that the dealers who don't know about the junk journal, those are damaged books. They're super cheap. And meanwhile, I'm going, that's good because they're damaged, which means I can pay a little bit and I don't feel bad about tearing them apart.
Yeah. And same thing with postcards, that I used to throw away damaged postcards because, who's going to want this? It's all torn up and, ripped or falling apart. But now I put them in a box, a dedicated box of damaged postcards. And, when I get a pound of it, then I offer it up. And, there's a lot of interest in it because people don't feel bad about cutting up an already damaged piece.
Right.
They're not going to cut up a beautiful, pristine postcard. But, if it already has holes and tears and, stains on it, then they can cut it up and use the parts that they like.
Awesome. And we absolutely love the junk journal community because the way that I look at it, they're saving all this stuff. They are saving it from the landfill is what they're coming down. They're repurposing it. They're giving it new life that you and I would have just in the old days would have literally thrown it away.
Yeah. And even just watching their shows, making these journals, like just the creativity that goes into it. And, the eye of like, man, I would never have thought of, keeping that or using that type of thing. And they make these like beautiful decorative pieces. It's cool.
Yep, absolutely. But the winner this week, a glitch of the week, was our power company, RG&E. I lost my power Sunday night, and about 5:30, 6:30. It seems like every weekend I'm having a problem with either losing my internet or my power.
Was it 10,000 people?
Was it that many?
It was either 1,000 or 10,000. I can't remember. But yeah.
And then this is a great one. We're going to go on a mini rambling story over here. They apparently had a problem with autopay, that the people that were signed up for autopay, the autopay did not go through. And it was a glitch on their end. They then sent out service notices that they were going to be basically stopping service to people because the bill wasn't paid. So everybody called and was what's going on? their customer service then said, "Oh yeah, it's a glitch on our end. Don't worry about it." Instead of sending something out to people, everybody's got to call into customer service to find out that, yeah, we're not turning your power off. Just ignore that.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody was on hold for a good hour and a half too, waiting for that. Don't worry about it, instead of sending out a mass email. Yeah, I'm sure.
They're like the mafia now too, Argini. Because if you're 2 days late, at least business wise, if you're 2 days late on your payment, they bring these two thugs down and they actually are rude and demand payment, or they're going to shut you off.
For real?
For real, yeah. They came into my. Usually we make the payment on the day. But it was like, and they, you don't get a late charge, but like say it was due Saturday. Well, Monday it was technically 2 days late, and we were going to call it in and got sidetracked, whatever, because it was a Monday. These two guys show up at the shop and say, we're going to shut you off if you don't pay us. So then like I was there, so I just wrote them a check. Normally we call it in and I use my account online. Then like a month later, and if that didn't happen, I would not have paid this time. My employee at the warehouse goes, two guys are here dressed as RG&E demanding like $1,500. I go, it's legit. He was nervous that they were fake. And I go, luckily, if this didn't happen to me, I would not be paying them. So it was easier to call it on the phone and pay it and then tell them. And then they gave us a receipt for it. But it's amazing. But I hope they don't do that with homes, because some people maybe can't afford it. And you're going to get shut off. Like, I know they can't do that legally in the winter, but I think they're trying to take advantage of it now. Crazy.
Well, I'm not going to say anything bad about Central Hudson, because I'm afraid they'll raise my rates even. If they're watching this, you're doing a great job. Keep my
I love not having power from time to time. I mean, I absolutely love it. It's a great.
Oh, the ice storm is great for 3 weeks.
Past your forefathers and stuff like that, what they experienced, that's one way to look at it.
I don't know if you saw this or not. A site change over here. eBay is testing soft close auctions.
Yeah, I don't like soft close auctions.
Okay.
Especially as a buyer, like I wanted to end at that last second.
Yes, absolutely.
If I could fit in there and get an item, then I know that like Auction Ninja does that, and it's frustrating to sit there when you think something's going to end and you're just there. It pumps it back another 5 minutes, and you're there for an extra 2 hours going against one other person. It's frustrating. I hope that doesn't happen.
Yep.
Even as a seller, I don't even want that to happen.
Insulting offer of the week. Mr. Magazine had an Una Chaplin signed card. Is that Charlie's daughter?
Maybe.
From James Bond. He was asking $50 on it. He got a $15 offer. But I win this week. I had a Mary Lou Retton activewear ad sheet. So it's a single-sided glossy ad sheet for Mary Lou Retton. Now, she's been in the news lately, unfortunately. $34.21 with free shipping. A guy offered me $5. Which is less than I could ship it to him for, plus my fees. And
I love it when they say, like, including shipping as well. I want it for a deep discount, and I don't want to pay for shipping.
And they try to sneak that through.
I can get it to you for free,
I did one day email a guy and said, "Can I have your address?" He goes, "Why?" I go, "Because I'm going to send you $2. I actually save money sending you $2 and selling this to you." He didn't find the humor in that. But I had a Buffalo Fan magazine, $24.24. Guy offered me $1 on it. I paid more than that at Clarence Flea Market. He offered me $1, and then asked if it's still available. I said yes, and it still will be.
See, those are the type of things, like, I don't answer those emails. It's not even worth my time answering it to say no, and then have them somehow be angry at me or shoot some expletive to me or something like that, because I don't want to accept their lowball offer.
I think I countered them at $20. That was somebody with zero positive. I think I countered them at 20 and said it is still available, but $1 out of money.
You're gambling, especially if the person with zero feedback, and I don't even know if I would want the sale.
Yeah.
Countdown
to Brimfield. Have you ever been to Brimfield?
Oh yeah, I went to Brimfield. Well, that's another place where it's either raining or it's brutally hot. I've been to Brimfield a lot. Since for about when they had two postcard, they had like the chicken coop, and then they had the postcard barn on the other side. So probably going back about 20 years now, I've been going.
Unfortunately, you don't know what this is leading up to, because I see that you're still happy.
Oh no, what is it?
Well, hold on. Did you see up your way that they're doing a Brimfield in the Adirondacks sale?
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
They're doing a flea market. The people that put on Brimfield are putting on a flea market up there. I'll send you the details, because I'm actually going up there. I'm staying in Long Lake.
Okay.
I don't know how far that is, and it's about wherever this place is. It's about a 45-minute drive from Long Lake.
Okay, nice. I camp up there all the time, so it might work out. But
Yeah, I'll send you the listing as to where it is and all that, and maybe we'll meet up there.
yeah, that'd be cool.
Oh, it is Cornfucius joke of the week. Oh, you're familiar with Cornfucius, of course.
Oh yes, yes. Too familiar.
Everybody is. Are you ready, Mr. Magazine?
Oh yeah.
What's the world's greatest feat of strength? Any
I
guesses?
don't, if you're asking me, no idea.
Shaquille O'Neal sneakers. I don't know what to tell you.
Wheeling, West Virginia. The world's greatest feat of strength is Wheeling, West Virginia. Ah, they're quite clever, those
The
guys.
magazine here, I don't get it.
They're Wheeling, West Virginia around the world is.
Oh, okay. A knee slapper right there.
Yeah.
Would you like me to repeat it? Maybe you didn't understand it the first time. I could always repeat it.
It's okay. I think I'm good.
All right. Thought it Wheeling, West Virginia.
I got to bring a noose.
Mr. Magazine, would you like to talk to us about the Dan Marino issue?
Sure. So I pick up autograph collections regularly, and this happened to be in with, I think, other Marino items. It was a Marino collector. And it was like an oversized card, and it was autographed by him, and it came with an actual letter. And my employee listed it, and I think it was $30. I mean, they were on eBay. I think the going rate was 30, so he put 30 up there. And the guy emailed me.
Now, what did the letter say?
Well, first I want to tell the guy it said that this item is fake. It's a preprint. They go for like $2. He goes, you can even see in the letter it says that. Well, no, the letter does not say that. The letter from Marino nicely says, unfortunately, so people must send in, balls and jerseys and stuff like that for him to sign. And he simply said, unfortunately, I can't sign all the items that people mail into me. However, I can sign this card for you, because he probably has thousands of them, and give you this in return. So that's legit. And you can tell it does look legit. And the guy said, no, that's fake. I just bought one for $2. I go, well, good for you. But it's certainly legit. I did research on it, and Marino signed them, and he gave them to people that mailed in to his charity or whatever. And it's clear as day. So the guy's just very ignorant.
Yeah, that's always a good one too. When somebody says like, "Oh, I can buy this for $5 somewhere else," I'm like, "Well, then you should do that." So that's a good.
Why you bother me? Oh, sometimes I'll say, "Hey, what's the guy's username? I want to buy a bunch. I can flip them 5 times my money."
When you ship postcards out, do you use the standard envelope on eBay or?
Yeah, for the most part, up to it's only up to about $20 for a single card or something like that. And then above that, I usually use a stamp up to about $35, and then I do USPS ground because, I have to protect myself of these things disappearing. And, it seems like this eBay standard shipping isn't always, doesn't always show up well.
Right.
So sometimes it says it's delivered, but I think it's only because it can be scanned in the sorting centers. So when it says delivered, it means that it left the last sorting center and went to your nearest post office. So I get emails multiple times a week of people saying that, oh, it's been delivered, but it's not in my mailbox. I'm like, just give it a day or two. It'll show up. But I'm surprised eBay hasn't corrected that, that discrepancy in it.
I got 2 for you up there. You got that one?
No, dollar did not include free delivery. He would have had to pay shipping on top of that.
Goodness gracious, cool.
Printfield is happening right now. There you go.
Oh, that's true.
Because Mr. Magazine had a customer win something a few months ago and it got lost in the mail. Mr. Magazine refunded it. Well, they just got notification from the post office that the item has just been shipped out. Or they said they did. Well, I don't know if you're aware of this or not. eBay and Amazon has had the problem as well, reusing tracking numbers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's the point of that?
Add an extra digit on the end. You won't need to reuse tracking numbers for a long, long time.
Yeah, or else
it costs a lot more time and money, I think, to do that, right?
So what had happened then is this guy, Mr. Magazine sent something out, the same tracking number, but it's a brand new order to somebody new, or somebody else sent it out to somebody. It's a brand new it's a brand new tracking number, but it was a repeat. So people are having all kinds of problems. Things are showing up because sometimes it references the old tracking number. So it'll show up that I printed a label today and I'm sending it to you in Georgia, and it shows delivered that afternoon in Alaska.
Oh, yes. And then, of course, you get an angry buyer.
Yeah, they love that. Yeah, they love it.
And then you try to explain to them what's going on, and they think you're putting one over on them, and you're like, no, this is really what's happening.
It's funny how a lot of buyers always jump to that, that you're ripping me off or you're tricking me or in some way. And you're like, I'm just a small time seller. Like, I wouldn't get far in this business if I wasn't treating my buyers well. So it's just, it's always fascinating when the people that jump to that conclusion instead of being like, hey, what's going on? Something weird's going on, and, working with you.
I get people like, if it's a day late from the post office, like, I want a refund. It's like, it's a post office. Give it a day, give it a weekend, whatever. Like, it's crazy.
I've actually
answered after it leaves my hands.
Yeah.
I've actually answered somebody before. No, you're right. It is a fraud. I set my company up 25 years ago and have sold $150,000 on or 150,000 items online so I could get your $5.
Yeah.
It worked. I played the long game, and then they're like, "Oh, probably not." No, exactly, exactly. One of my customers who's been buying off me for years emailed. He bought something or other from me. Can you wait 2 weeks for payment? I'm out of the country and all of my credit cards got hacked.
That has literally happened to me as well. So I can sympathize with them. But I have a buyer right now that's in Thailand. He says, can I pay you when I get home? I'm like, yeah, it's fine. I don't mind holding on to things if it's a reasonable amount of time.
Yep.
That's going to be a nightmare.
But yeah, it's a nightmare. Definitely a nightmare because you have to change every single thing. You have auto paid, and I forgot to change my Easy Pass, so all of a sudden I can't get through the Easy Pass gates, and I'm like, oh, I forgot it's on my old credit card.
Well, and if it makes you feel any better, they had a glitch where it wasn't doing the automatic replenishing, so people were going through and then getting charged for not having the funds on there.
Oh, really?
And that was an Easy Pass error because they did a software update and it didn't go through right.
Is everything glitching, now? It's just crazy.
I finally got the video up from Madison Bachville. You definitely have to check that out, a haul video from Madison Bachville. I did put that up. So do check that out if you haven't. And I've actually made 3 times my money at Madison Bachville within 3 weeks or a month.
Oh, wow.
I never do that. I am long tail as can be. I never do that. So very, very happy. But it's going to be terrible in August. You should not go in August. Just saying.
I just like to go and, people watch all the Amish people in their beautiful blue robes. And, I drive up through central New York early in the morning, so I see them all on their bicycles, going by and everything. So, it's a whole different world in central New York.
I used to do audits for my day job. I had Penn Yan as one of my areas from time to time, and there are a lot of Amish Mennonites over in Penn Yan.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So see them all the time. Bicycle repair shops and all that. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All named Miller, by the way. I went in. All right. This is going to be a quick rambling story. I went into I had to do an audit back in the day of an Amish supermarket. They had, I swear to God, it was a thing like this, like a little baggie, that size with salt. Okay. It had like 6 cents on it.
Man,
the baggie alone is 5 cents. And I go, that's a lost leader. They're getting you to come in to buy the salt, and they're hoping you buy everything else when you're in there.
You don't want to get pulled over with a bunch of those little salt packets in your hand.
That's true. Maybe I just thought it was salt. I don't know.
Maybe they were bath salts.
Could be.
But it's always funny too to be stuck in traffic and there's you see behind you there's like 2 horse and buggies behind you too. And I'm like, well, the Amish can't drive cars, but they're stuck in the same traffic as me.
That's true. Jeez. That is true. I got an overpaid postage credit from the post office over on eBay. First time in a long time where they've actually credited me money back because I overpaid.
Wow.
What? I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it was like $1.44. They credited me back. You always see, they'll charge you $1 something, whatever. They actually credited me back on something.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Oh, absolutely, Jeff. Absolutely. Oh, Mr. Magazine is going to be saving up his pennies. You've heard of Joe Burrow.
I'm not sure if I have.
The quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. He bought that Batmobile, but he turned it down. He turned it back in. He doesn't want it, so Mr. Magazine will probably be buying that.
He must have lost some money doing that. There's got to be a fee, right?
I would think so.
Because it's custom built. I think they're only doing 3 of them or something like that. I mean, he can still be able to sell it. He should have just bought it and sold it for $5 million.
Well, he canceled it because I don't know if you knew this or not. His house got burglarized,
Oh, jeez.
and
Oh,
then
he was living in the Batmobile then?
no,
Yeah.
no,
I mean,
his
he has
house.
a Batmobile. Shouldn't it be able to like protect his house or something like that?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So he suddenly said, "Why am I being so ostentatious? I don't wanted this because people targeted my house. They
Right.
robbed it when I was somewhere else. I don't want to be, I don't want to be flexing necessarily. So I don't need this car." So he
If
turned it
you're
back
buying
in.
a $3 million Batmobile, then you probably have a bunch of other nice stuff in your house too.
Absolutely. So Mr. Magazine is going to be buying that $3 million, but he doesn't have other nice stuff in his house. He's going to have the Batmobile. I definitely wanted to let you know as well. I do have the second person lined up for consulting. So if anybody out there is interested in consulting, do reach out to me. Reasonable rates, and I will help you in whatever questions you have on your reselling business. We'll work it out. Just wanted you to know that is an option, and we're going to be having a second one. And I finally bought Zoom today, so it'll be the first time that I did it. Actually, you could only do 40 minutes, and then it kicked you off, and then you have to resend an invite. And I said, yeah, that's not very professional. So we.
What's your long term? Are you going to branch out into like sports gambling consulting, marriage consulting, anything like that? I think you can make this a full time job. Yeah,
there we go. Hey,
you got me on one of those, maybe two.
It's wide open. It's wide open, my friend. It's wide open. You never.
Yeah, that's sports betting. That's a big business right there. I think it's a pretty good market to move into.
Yeah.
Well, the Knicks, stone cold lock of the day. Wait, they're not playing. I got to work on it a little bit. When we're there.
Yep.
Did you see? Are you going to see the Superman movie coming out?
I know. I have seen some previews and it looks pretty good. I'm really big into the DC or Marvel movies, but I do like Superman, so I might go. I haven't been to the theater in a while, so it's one of those types of movies that is much better on the big screen than probably in your house.
Exactly. How about you, Mr. Magazine? You gonna watch Superman?
I will watch it. Yep. I won't watch it this week, but I'll watch it maybe next week.
Remember the original movie with Christopher Reeve? Well, not the original. The original is George Reeve, and way back then. But remember Christopher Reeve in the movie in the 70s?
I remember watching it on my TV. I'm not old enough to have seen it in the theaters. Thankfully, I'm still a young man. But yeah, I do remember the Christopher Reeves movies. He was probably the best Superman.
Yeah.
Well, his costume, the costume he wore when flying, is coming up at auction.
Ooh, nice.
Estimated to go for $130,000.
Ooh, careful buying that. People might rob your house.
I mean,
not if you're wearing it.
Yeah. Last week on the Bolo, I had that one dress that grew 500. Never heard of her. $500. That's only $136,000. Doesn't make sense.
That's true.
Should be $500,000 to $1 million.
Well, you could buy it, flip it, and then buy your Batmobile.
Well, I was going to say buy it, wear it, and go, what is Superman doing in the Batmobile?
I was just going to say, wear it in the Batmobile. There you go. Confuse everybody. And then I did have a situation. I got an email. I bought some comic bags over on eBay, and I got an email. Your order is going to be coming late. Customs just released it. So my order's late. Have you had any problems with supplies or anything at all like that?
When I heard about like the tariffs coming in, I bought up all the supplies I could get at the time. I was afraid of prices jumping. So I got postcard sleeves, mailing sleeves, and all of that before those tariffs jumped in. So right now I'm fully stocked with supplies, but I am a little apprehensive of like what my next order is going to cost. So, and I know when I was in Allentown, I was thinking about buying, those hard plastic sleeves for like comic books or big photos. And he said that, you better buy them now because I can already tell that the prices are going to jump on them. So I don't know if it was a sales tactic or what, but it definitely worked because I bought a bunch of them. So
I know, John. I didn't know it was Kirk Allen. I knew it wasn't. George Reeve, but we're going back a little bit before my time, even on that one over there. Oh wow, Christopher Reeve's son is making a cameo in the new one.
Oh, that's cool.
And did you ever? You're probably too young. Did you ever listen to Howard Stern?
Oh yeah, I used to listen to Howard Stern when I had Sirius Radio back in the 90s. Baba Booey.
Baba Booey. Baba Booey. Did you listen? Do you know who Richard is? Sal and Richard. Were you around for them?
No, I don't think so.
Richard Christie is on there, and the director of Superman actually went to Richard Christie's parents to hear the accent to learn how to make Ma and Pa Kent talk. True story.
Wow.
And so they actually they're actually listed in the credits as some kind of consultant for the new movie.
Wow.
Yeah. Some kind of a consultant for Ma and Pa Kent, for their speech and the way they talked. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow. Cool. Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah. And I think Richard Christie also got a thing in there too. Blurb in there as well.
Nice.
So I'm going to be setting up in Allentown. I don't know if you're aware of that or not.
Oh, I've seen you there before, so.
Well, I'll be setting up though this time. It won't just be shopping. I'll be setting up.
Oh, nice. Is this your first time setting up in Allentown?
First time. I'm sharing I don't know if you know Craig Farmer.
I don't think so, no.
You know when you walk into the second room?
Yeah.
He's the first booth right on the left.
Right on the left? Oh, okay. BB's trunk used to be on the right.
Yep. Yep, diagonal from BB's, where BB's was, absolutely. And then Jason Vintage View is down a little bit further down that row.
Is Auction Professor go to this?
He does not go to this.
Oh, I was going to say, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Because if he went and bought out your table, he'd make $1 million off it.
That would be true. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Any tips for me for Allentown, or for anybody out there trying to shop Allentown?
Definitely bring some high value things. There's going to be buyers there that have pretty deep pockets that are looking for, very valuable things. But as I say that, also bring like a bunch of low end stuff too, people to dig through, and bulk stuff as well. It sells very well at Allentown. And on the last day, I think it's Saturday, right?
Saturday, Sunday. So it'll be Sunday, will be the last day. Yep.
I think Saturday night, go across to the Amish market because everything's on sale. So you can get, flats of fruit or all the donuts you want for, discounted price. So that's a good way to end your Saturday.
Or CVS. Is it CVS?
Rite Aid.
There you go. Yeah.
Rite Aid's going out of business. 90%.
It's going out of business near me too.
There's got to be one out there. Yeah.
And their Schmidt auction is trying to. Who do you think you are, Schmidt? Paper guy trying to crowbar some advertising in. Geez, and of course, Schmidt auction and Penguin Boss are in the back left as well.
Put up a map so we can know better.
Yeah, they're out in the Dakotas somewhere, I think, in Allentown.
How long have you been going to Allentown?
Probably about 15 years, ever since I could drive down there. So a pretty long time. And, I'm always in the postcard aisle. I used to set up there as well. I have always loved Allentown.
Yeah, definitely. Now, have you noticed, I've noticed the last couple of shows, there are a lot more dealer bulk lots than there were the first couple of shows that I went to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, a great thing about Allentown is not just collectors, but, you sell to all the dealers there as well. So, as they're selling, they're getting money, and they can start buying your bulk lots that you have at the show as well. So that's what the great part is that the dealers are buying from each other, customers and collectors are coming in too. So it's kind of like a free-for-all for, all different price ranges.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. It's a great show, and it's a lot of fun. And you were absolutely right about the Amish market across the farmers market. I always eat breakfast over there, so food that I shouldn't eat cooked with real butter. You would love it, Mr. Magazine. It's really good food, but you sit there and eat it, you're like, oh, I probably shouldn't do this. I feel my blood pressure increasing with every single bite.
But the promoters are also great. All the promoters are really nice and helpful, and
with your rapper, Sean the promoter. I'm Sean the promoter.
Yeah, he walks around going Sean the promoter.
We do a freestyle rap.
Yeah. Just like that.
Schmidt, is sheesh another way of saying SHIT?
Well, yeah, no, definitely looking forward to Allentown. Was it October 5th and 6th or something other like that, I believe. Something like first weekend in October.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have to shout out York, Pennsylvania, too. That's the big postcard show that happens every year, put on by the Martins. And that's the weekend before Thanksgiving. And that is the best postcard show in the country. And it's only an extra, maybe 45 minutes away from Allentown.
Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, I know Popeyes always goes to that.
Oh, yeah. You always see him there, too. He's buying his, giant bulk lots. And he does pretty well with those things. So, yeah.
How about any tips to people? Well, actually, I have Sean is very, very nice. Actually, I do have a question. Mr. Magazine and I are beginning to notice over on, not beginning, I've noticed it for a while. Mr. Magazine's beginning to notice over on Whatnot. Do you have a problem over on Whatnot with your regulars stop being regulars because they seem to disappear from the site.
Yeah, there's like an ebb and flow of buyers coming in and out, which I think is normal. And then new buyers come in, hopefully. I think one of the issues is that ephemera has been kind of knocked into that and whatnot category. But when you see like these baseball cards, these auctions, and I was on one at 2 a.m. yesterday. He had all graded basketball, baseball cards. He had 1,000 people in his room. And he was doing 5-second sudden death auctions. And he was getting hundreds of dollars for these, graded cards. And then I'm thinking of like, an ephemera show, maybe 20 people is a good show.
Yeah, it's a very good show. Yeah, other than the train. Yeah.
That is
it's
just
so competitive. The cards are so competitive. I mean, like, if he's selling a $200 card, what is retail? Can't be 200. It's got to be 300 or 250. You got to be getting some type of a deal because who's up at 2 a.m? You're paying retail on it.
No, people are paying over $1,000 for cards, and I'm just thinking, I don't understand the market, so I'm just like
crazy. It's so volatile. Yeah, it's volatile. It's like the stock market. It's
the only thing I can think of. Have you done any sudden death auctions?
I have. Yeah, kind of. I have, but I don't particularly like them. My buyers don't seem to like them, so I kind of run my auctions depending on what my buyers want.
Because my question is, you have an item up there, sudden death, and I bid, and when I'm pushing the thing over, it's $125, and because I'm the last person to push it, I win it at some other amount. Can it work that way that you end up bidding more than what you wanted?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because a lot of what especially the show I was watching last night, people are putting custom bids in. So there's a button for a custom bid, and there's baseball cards at $4, but in the last second, it'll jump up to like $8,000-$9,000 because people are putting in these custom bids.
Oh.
So that's the way his auction worked.
Yeah.
But he sold over 1,000 cards by the time I left at 2:30 in the morning.
Amazing.
So big money, and that makes me think like ephemera is such a small category compared to everything else on Whatnot. But also, we're hidden so much on Whatnot that we can't grow because who's going to look at and Whatnot and then find ephemera? I think it was better when we were in antiques or have our own category so we can grow and get more new faces in.
I think the only way we can grow and any other small category can grow is word of mouth. Us, all of us down at Allentown talking about it and telling people, pushing it, but we're basically the people advertising the site at that point, as opposed to Whatnot advertising the site for us.
Yeah, I agree. And postcards is like the third most collected thing in the world or something like that.
Wow.
It's stamps, coins, and then postcards. Wow. So there's a lot of collectors for it. Maybe they're not, spending as much money as these baseball or Pokemon collectors, but there is a big base for postcard collecting and paper collecting and photograph collecting. I just feel like we're too hidden on the site for new people to see us. When we were in antiques, I used to get people just happen into my show and, being like, oh, I like postcards, and buy a couple or something like that. And I got a new buyer, but it just seems that we're not getting as many new buyers into the ephemera category right now.
Wait, so you mean that person that's on there to buy potted plants doesn't say, oh, I need postcards too, because they're alphabetically next to each other?
Hey, I have some beautiful botanical postcards that they would love. So the postcards can cross over into almost anything. Maybe not Pokemon, but I think there's Pokemon postcards somewhere.
And I have shredded postcards that'll make great mulch. Just saying. All right, we're going to head on into the rambling story of the week. And how was your birthday, Mr. Magazine?
Well, it was different, I will say. My birthday weekend, we had a 4th of July party Friday. Then Saturday, my wife took me away to Buffalo. So I could buy us massages, and I can buy us dinner, and I can buy us the hotel.
How come you didn't buy me anything on your birthday?
Exactly.
So happy birthday.
Thank you. It was Monday, but we celebrated over the weekend. So that was Saturday. So Sunday, everything was fine. Around 8 o'clock at night, we ate dinner at the restaurant there, and then everything was fine. I'm going to throw this in. I actually had to go to the bathroom in the hotel room, and I went to the bathroom. Everything was fine. The next morning, we're driving, and it's only an hour ride home. 20 minutes in, I felt like I had to go number 1 and number 2. It's like, we're almost home. I go, I can't. I got to go. I got to stop. So we stopped off at one of those, stop-off places, Apple something or other. and I couldn't go. I couldn't go 1 or 2. I'm like, this is really weird. I'm not going to sit here all day. So we ended up driving home, and I tried it again when I got home, and I started getting a pain in my stomach. And as the day went on, I would keep trying. I ended up going number 1 eventually, but number 2 I couldn't, and my stomach pain was getting excruciating.
Ooh.
So I tried sleeping it off and stuff. So and I got a surgery coming up Friday. So certain medicine I can't take, so I just said, hey, I got to go to urgent care. So I went to urgent care, and they ran tests, x-rays, this and that. And I had a kidney stone, apparently.
Oh, yikes.
What a guess. It was an educated guess from the doctor. He thinks I passed it. It was small, and I didn't feel anything, which was great because I was able to do number 1. But I still had trouble number 2. So he, offered options of doing this and that. And my wife, did the enema and all that jazz. So I ended up working out late that night. But it was just weird. The pain was so crazy that I can't believe that was it. Because the one thing really doesn't have to do with the other from what he was saying.
Right.
Unless they just both happened at the same time. But it wasn't the best thing. So, but that was part of my birthday present, I guess.
Kidney stone.
Yeah.
That was after your birthday. Your birthday went well, but it was the couple days after your first couple days of your new year of on the planet.
Yeah.
Year's got to get better.
Oh, after my hip surgery Friday, sure, I hope so.
But shout out to Buffalo. I love Buffalo. Buffalo's such a great city. They have a great zoo. If you ever want to go to a great zoo, the Buffalo Zoo is awesome.
Yeah, we went to a Salvatore's, and then there was some little waterfall area which had like older homes, and we just sat out on a bench for an hour. It's kind of cool and relaxing, Yeah.
Great.
Thank you for the belated birthdays. And the free poop story.
Anything you'd like to plug?
Well, I'm going to be doing Ephemerama this weekend. I'm going to be the tail end of the show at 9:30. It's always great to do one of these raid trains put on by Schmidt Auctions, Penguin Boss, and Ferrari Finds. They put in a lot of work into these raid trains, and people really bring out their best stuff. So it's always fun to watch these raid trains. Other than that, buy more postcards and photographs. You can never have enough. Or you can always broaden your collections. And let me know if you're looking for anything, because I'll try to find it for you.
Ephemerama 27 this Saturday, 5:30 p.m. Papergoy, 9:30 p.m. Turner Postcards. Make sure you stop on by for that. I'm sure there's a lot of other decent sellers.
There's other people in between somewhere, I think.
Yeah, whatever. No, and we're actually going to be, you definitely want to tune in 2 weeks from now. We're going to have Pengy and TMD on the show.
Oh, really? Oh, great.
So that'll be a lot of fun as well with that. And anything for you to plug, Mr. Magazine?
I got my regular whatnots going on. Even when I'm away this weekend or laid up at home, I got my guys doing Saturday, Sunday 6-hour records. Tomorrow's comics from both my whatnot sellers. Just another week at the office.
How long are your shows?
I usually do about an hour and a half. I like to be quick. I know that some sellers like Jen 717, she can go for a marathon, but I get tired of hearing my own voice, so I get worried that everybody else is tired of it too. So I try to keep them at least kind of short and sweet.
I may do a marathon because I love the sound of my own voice.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I did a 2-hour show yesterday, and my voice, and it was my second auction of the day, and my voice was fried by the end of it, absolutely fried by the end of it. One time I was on 4 trains in the same day.
Yeah.
And my voice was completely fried by the end of it. I was sounding like was it Bonnie Tyler by the end of that day? I don't know if you know Bonnie Tyler or not, but.
It also depends on like the people in your room. If you're selling things, then like I can keep going. Like I've done, I think a 6-hour show is the longest I ever did. Started at 8:00. I finished around 2 a.m. or something like that. I had buyers that were asking for things. I was selling things, but by the end of it, like I was almost like delirious. You get so amped up by like doing it for so long that it's even trouble falling asleep after that. I feel like I could clean my whole house.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that was what was going on when I was on those raid trains like that. Because I had them set up too, where I was like on a 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock thing, and then a 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock thing. So I had an hour in between, which would literally, I would get my orders ready, and then I was into my next raid train, and then I would get the orders ready, and I was into my next raid train, and I did that for 8-hour day there, and I'm going, oh geez, kind of crazy. And do check out Papergoy over there as well. We have our 4:00 book auction tomorrow. I'm actually 11 o'clock as part of the $3 raid train Thursday. Have you been in any of those?
Yeah, I did the $3 raid train last week. I had all these things set up, and I didn't bring any, didn't include stereo views, but then I ended up selling only stereo views the whole time. So somebody asked for it. I said, okay, I like stereo views. And I just pretty much sold that the whole time.
And that's the beauty with Whatnot. And I think you see it with your people as well. You go on the fly.
Yeah.
Somebody asks for something, somebody's paying money on something, you happen to have more of it, and you can just kind of, oh yeah, we got that, we got more. Whereas I set all my auctions up. That's just the way that I do my auctions. But that's the nice thing about Whatnot is you can just do it the way that you want to do it. And you can make it work because there's no really right or wrong way to do it.
Yeah.
Yep. So do check that out. And I've got the mystery book auction, I believe 7 p.m. on Saturday. Do check that out as well. All right. Great show. Oh, there we go. 10 a.m. start tomorrow. $3 Thursday raid train. Definitely stick around for 11 o'clock for me. Definitely want to thank our guests. A lot of fun tonight. The show went by very, very quickly. Do hit the like button out there if you could. And we will see you all next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Have a good one, guys.